Anfernee Simons must be traded by the Portland Trailblazers this offseason. Or does he? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having a great day so far. Today, I'm going to break down both sides of the argument and leave the question with you, the viewer, on if Anfernee Simons should or should not be traded by the Trailblazers this offseason. Before we get into the video, please do make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers and it would really mean a lot to me. And make sure to turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload. And with that said, let's get right into it. Portland Trailblazers general manager Joe Cronin recently did an interview where he was asked about the future of this team. He mentioned that Scoot Henderson and Shane Sharp are the players that they're looking to build around, but he failed to mention the name Anfernee Simons.
Like I said, we've got to continue to build this talent base, and we're committed to Scoot and Shaden being a massive part of what we're doing. And how do we find ways to give them the support they need and make them better?
Was this intentional? Or did he just make a simple speaking error? But it seems like every time it's brought up, Anfernee Simons' name is left out of that equation. You could make a strong argument that Anfernee Simons is the Blazers' best player at this current moment in time. And honestly, I don't know if I would disagree with you on that. However, how does he fit in with this team and its future hopes of reaching a championship one day? So without further ado, let's break down both sides of the argument. On the one hand, Anfernee Simons showed out to be an amazing player with great stats in his first season leading this Trailblazers team without Damian Lillard. In this last season, Anfernee Simons averaged 22.6 points, 3.6 rebounds, and 5.5 assists in 46 games that he played. During those games, he averaged 43% from the field and an amazing 38.5% from the three-point line. After the season, he ended up ranking number 5 overall in on-ball gravity, just behind players like Luka Doncic, Damian Lillard, Steph Curry, and Devin Booker, all of which are superstars on their teams. If you're not familiar with on-ball gravity, it's essentially how much attention is the defense giving you, and when you have the ball in your hands, how much are you pulling the team to try to get the ball out of your hands. We saw this a lot this year where Anfernee would be getting double teamed in plays, and seemingly the other team didn't seem to care what every other player on the Blazers was doing besides Anfernee Simons. To rank number 5 on this list ahead of players like Jalen Brunson, Trae Young, Giannis Antetokounmpo, James Harden, and Julius Randle is just insane. He was also playing on a new team full of new and young players that he had never played with before. And as we saw with players like Scoot Henderson and DeAndre Ayton, it takes time to develop that chemistry amongst players. This was also Anfernee Simons' first year being a true number 1 option on a team and had to adjust to getting that extra defensive attention without Dame being on the roster. Despite the adversity, he was still putting up amazing stats and was even one of the best offensive players in the league this last year when he was on the court. And if there isn't much of a market for Anfernee Simons, why would you trade him? So I know what you're saying. Where do the concerns lie with him? It might seem like he does a bit of everything. He scores, shoots the ball well, attracts a lot of defensive attention. He almost made 6 assists a game, so he can pass quite a bit. He's quick, he's very athletic, and can dunk the ball, as a lot of people seem to forget that he actually won the NBA dunk contest a few years ago. But let me break down a few reasons why NBA fans might want to trade Anfernee Simons. Anfernee Simons the last couple of seasons has been one of the worst defenders in the league, and so a lot of Blazer fans don't want to see a backcourt that lacks in defense like we have for the last decade. Anfernee Simons, if he was still on the roster, would also be taking valuable minutes and developmental time away from Scoot Henderson, as it would be likely that your starting backcourt on night 1 would be Anfernee and Shane Sharp. And if this team wants hopes of winning a championship, you want to do everything in your power to give the keys to Scoot Henderson and see what he can become. And in the NBA in general, it's not too hard to find a guard who can score the ball well, but doesn't necessarily need very much playing time and might not be the best on defense, which is a mold that Anfernee Simons seems to slip into. Anfernee is also 25 years old, and so he doesn't really fit the long-term plan for this young, rebuilding roster, and his play style doesn't really fit the mold of a player who would ever be a number 1 or number 2 option on a contending team. In an ideal world, Anfernee Simons would be a 6th man, but he's too good to be a 6th man, and he also makes too much money. He's the kind of guy that if you have him on your roster, you most certainly need to start him. Anfernee Simons has also expressed in his exit interview this last season that he wants to win and he wants to win soon.
For me, my 6 years done now and I'm going to year 7, like I want to, have the opportunity to win. Yeah, I know. I think, obviously, losing is not fun at all, So I want to have an opportunity to, really show myself in the playoffs and winning is, one of those things that obviously everybody wants to do, but, for me now, that's like top priority.
And so it seems like Anfernee Simons may be on a different timeline than the front office currently is. So, there you have it. I've provided both arguments for why the Trailblazers may want to keep or may want to get rid of Anfernee Simons sometime this offseason. As you can see, there is a case to be made for either option, and considering his stats, his efficiency as an offensive player, his athleticism, there's a strong case to be made to keep him, but there's also a case to be made for trading him, as he doesn't fit the timeline of this team and isn't the best defender, and would be taking developmental time away from Scoot Henderson. And so in that case, it may be smart to move off of him if you can find good value for him. At the end of the day, I think that's what it comes down to. Can you find a trade for Anfernee Simons? Is there a team out there that is willing to give up fair value for him? Because if you're just giving him up for expiring contracts and one first-round pick, then I say you should just keep him. The Orlando Magic have been floated around as a team who may be interested in Anfernee Simons. However, after signing Gary Harris and KCP from the Nuggets, it may not seem very viable that they may want to trade for Anfernee Simons this offseason. So in my opinion, that's what it comes down to, but let me know what you think. Comment below and let me know, do you think Anfernee Simons should be traded by the Trailblazers? Or do you think he's a core piece of this team moving forward? That's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for sticking to the end of the video. Again, if you haven't subscribed, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, like the video, and comment below letting me know what you think of Anfernee Simons. With that said, that's all I have for you guys. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and until next time, I'll see you later.